motivation and plot. Now, today, we have another tag video for you. But
Tag!
You're it. It's a tag video with a slight twist. So, Emily at Novelle Novels created the Friends tag.
Yes.
And that found its way to Steve Donoghues, who...
shares a name with a relative of mine. So, can you just change your name so it's less weird for me? Thanks.
It does.
It's really strange. Scott will refer to you and I'll be like... It's very strange.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry. Segue.
You've segued into it. Anyway, Steve Donoghues got hold of Emily's friendship tag.
Yeah.
And Steve Donoghues'd it. And then tagged us in it.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do the Steve Donoghues version of the Friends tag.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we weren't tagged in the Friends tag.
And we were tagged in the Steve Donoghues version. Okay.
Okay.
Let's
so
go.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
E is for enemies.
Excellent. Let's go.
How many enemies do you currently have? Now, Steve says in his video, it's not good enough to have an enemy unless they know you're an enemy.
Oh, they have to know they're my enemy.
Yeah, so you can't be like...
I think all those people I blocked off our turfling video the other day.
They're
probably enemies. They probably know it too.
They probably know it too. How many people did you block on our turfling video?
There was a few.
I think that we mutually have one enemy, one person who, if they were to tomorrow die in a car accident...
We would laugh. Oh, there would be laughter.
Yeah, and that person knows who he is, and if he's watching,
then he's weird.
Then he's weird, but he knows we're talking about him dying in a car accident, hopefully.
And it's funny.
Yeah, not that we're vicious people. Not that we're vicious people. We would prefer if he just moved to Denmark and we never saw him again.
Speak for yourself.
Or, somewhere not as nice as Denmark. Yeah. Anyway.
So 1.
N is for new release. Are there any November 2020 releases on your TBR?
Nah.
No.
Not so good at keeping up. I don't even know what the new releases are.
Yeah, to be honest, when people talk about books on booktube, I could not tell you whether it's like 20 years old or 2 minutes new.
Yeah, what I measure time in it is how long ago since I heard of it.
Yeah. So
new to me could still be written in the 1600s.
I just found out a Quakey Amazee had a new book out. And
I knew about that.
Oh, that must be Pets. But no, it's not. So by the time I'm still thinking of Pets as a new book,
yeah,
she actually has
a new book.
Sorry, they actually have
a new book.
Yeah. E is for Enrage. What does it take for a complete stranger to enrage you? I mean, it's got to be pretty vicious, like having a mustache.
I'm definitely the more chill of the two of us. It takes a significant amount to make me bother to be angry.
Just being stupid, not being able to drive.
You spend a lot of time on the road.
I do. Oh, look. Yeah, look, I'm actually quite chilled out on the road because I spend a lot of time on it. I wasn't before I did, but if I didn't chill out, I would actually have blood pressure. That means that my eyes are bleeding.
Yeah.
But I just, when I see somebody being so stupid on the internet and like explaining something and being dumb, that just enrages me, and I have to.
Someone commenting on anyone else's body, regardless of what they're saying, that pretty much pisses me off. Men being men.
Manny.
Don't like that.
Privileged.
Just like taking up too much space and ignoring the impact they have on other people. Yeah. Self-centered. Yeah.
People being selfish. In general, people being selfish.
Yeah, and
upsets me.
And not because they've disregarded the feelings of others, but because they legitimately don't see other people in their periphery because they're so up their own arse. That makes me pretty angry.
That upsets you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. M is for Malice. What is a memorable evil character who sticks with you? I think,
Kathy.
yeah, I was just say East of Eden, Kathy from East of Eden.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that's a pretty.
She's. I'm gonna put it out there. Best villain in a book ever.
I think I struggle to find anyone that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best villain ever. I struggle to find anybody to debate that title with. Like,
so if you've got someone who you think can come up against Kathy from East of Eden as best villain, in the comments,
tell us. Yeah.
We'll hash it out.
I is for internet. Is there a person on it that regularly infuriates you?
I mean, Donald Trump is technically on the internet, I guess. Am I allowed to say that?
I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't find Donald Trump infuriating if
he wasn't such a moron.
If people didn't give him the power of, like, believing him and listening to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like,
I wouldn't find Donald Trump infuriating if he wasn't president. Because if he wasn't in such a position of power, I would never read his tweets. Because I'm never going to Donald Trump's Twitter. Like, that's never happening.
Yeah.
But because he's in such a position of power, he's, like, broadcasted everywhere. And I'm like, ugh. Stop.
I mean, there's so many people on the internet now. But are we talking about, like, is there a booktuber that infuriates me? Is there, like, I mean, J.K. Turfling's Twitter account upsets me on a regular basis.
That author who clapped back at Nashwas for having a 1-star review, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's... I think we should link that video of Nashwas in the comments, because...
Just highly interesting, especially if you're interested in enemies.
Yeah, that's a good one. E is for Eradication.
Yes.
Is there a book you'd erase from existence? If so, why? Multiple. Where do we begin?
So many.
All right. Moby Dick, needlessly tedious.
Charles Dickens. All of it.
Do you want to give us a 2-liner on why?
He talks too much.
Catcher in the Rye.
How did it take us this long?
I know.
Although I would miss mocking Holden Caulfield.
Who would we insult if we eradicated Catcher in the Rye? No, I think we'd keep Catcher in the Rye just for the insides. There's nobody better to insult than Holden Caulfield. In the comments, if we eradicated Catcher in the Rye and Holden Caulfield...
Who would we make fun of?
Yeah, I mean, Harry Potter. Could we make fun of Harry Potter? He is also a privileged snot curtain.
He is. But I really like Daniel Radcliffe, and I find it hard to separate the two because I'm of that generation.
Yeah.
And now Daniel Radcliffe makes really, like, kick-ass dark comedies.
I mean, Daniel Radcliffe is clearly awesome.
Own fucking corpse through a forest. Like...
That Russian one, the doctor one, that was brilliant.
And so good. So good.
Other books I would have read, anything written by a Beat Generation artist. Yeah. I hate the Beat Generation.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas can...
anything where the author is essentially doing a Jackson Pollock with their own sprog. I mean, like Finnegan's Wake-esque.
Yeah. Anything... see, I like some of it. There's a line. When it just becomes experimental nonsense. Anything on the wrong side of that line.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's a line for me makes me wonder if there's a different line for everyone and if it's like one of those super subjective things.
Yeah, I think there probably is, because I've actually, even though I don't like that experimental rubbish, I see other people complain about it in books that I think are excellent.
Yeah, and you're like,
So I'm like, and then the problem is I go, oh, you're probably not very smart.
Dan Brown! Sorry.
It took you a long time.
You're probably not very smart. Bang, there we are.
We were watching Sean the Book Maniac do his anti-TBR tag.
Yeah, it was. It was his anti-TBR tag.
Sean said, this author is worse than Dan Brown. And
I have not read the author he was talking about.
And now was insulted for the author. I've accidentally taken my hair out, but this is for Simon, who said in a comment, how long has Scott had long hair for? About that long.
I actually think it's been cut several times, but...
I don't know.
Yeah. I would say 3 or 4 years.
I don't know. But that's a complete segue.
Yeah.
So, we're going to eradicate a few books.
But everything ever written by Dan Brown. The world would be a better place.
Harry Potter. I'm going to eradicate Harry Potter.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Anything even half as fatphobic as Harry Potter can just fuck.
Yeah. Alright. That was therapeutic.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
S is for Seething. Is there a book that still enrages you years later?
The Crying of Lot 49.
I mean, when we're talking about Jackson Pollock's.
Yes. Like, it's just... Why did someone write that, publish that, and then insist that I read it?
You know, the interesting thing I think about all books that really upset me is that two people at least thought that was good. And then, on top of those two people, enough people then purchased that. And then when you go on Goodreads, nothing has under 3 stars on Goodreads average rating. So that means that somebody had to rate that 4 or 5 stars.
Ugh.
Like...
Oh my god, what's the Goodreads rating of The Crying of Lot 49? We need to get a tune.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
No, that's dumb.
Ruby-Dooby-Doo, looking for you. Well, this is the final question while Nell is looking up. Oh, wait, I haven't answered it. Is there a book that I'm still seething about all those years later? Moby Dick.
3.69.
I gotta say, that's low, but that is not as low as I would have expected from your description. Is the most popular review a 1 or a 5 star?
A 4.
A 4. Oh.
There's lots of 4 and 5 stars. Like, the most common is 4.
I want to put this out there. Almost every book on Goodreads goes lots of 5, a few more less 4s, a few less 3s, a few less 2s, a few less 1s. So when you see one that goes dunk dunk,
yeah, it's 5-4.
But
I can't comprehend giving it anything other than a 1 or a 5. Like, you either fucking hated that book like normal people, or you're a mental case.
Are you insulting Sally Rooney or not in that sentence?
You can decide.
I know the answer, because if you look at Nell's TBR, the book she hasn't read behind us closely enough, you'll be able to figure out the answer to that. But, yeah, Moby Dick upset me. It just, like, why would an author choose to make their book boring? Like, I actually feel like that was a conscious choice by Herman Melville to make that book boring. And that upsets me. That the point of that book was him to make it teasing. It's not years later since you read The Wasp Factory.
Felt like it was years just reading it.
My God, that book.
Years of my life.
That's you've bagged that book quite a lot on this channel.
It deserves it.
I
It's
mean,
terrible.
More than Holden Caulfield, almost. And it's not a bad book. It's actually an excellent book.
No, it's a terrible book.
It's one of the finest books ever written.
That actually makes me feel slightly nauseous.
Really?
Yeah.
It's... every time you bag it, because Wasp Factory is one of my favourite books ever, and Nell thinks it's one of the worst books ever written.
It was not good.
I'm always curious to see... maybe we should Goodreads it and see who has read it of our Goodreads friends. Of my Goodreads friends. You might have different Goodreads friends to me.
I think we're fairly similar.
I'm not very good at making new friends on Goodreads.
No, Goodreads friends make me.
Yeah, so if you're like, oh, we're not friends on Goodreads, just add me, I will add you back. Well... And nobody from Goodreads, and nobody from YouTube, from booktube has, but Bianca has read it and she gave it 3 stars. So...
Pretty sure that means she hated it.
The first line of her review was, Anyway, that is it for this tag. We have definitely padded the last couple of questions.
Sorry, we get distracted.
Who are we going to tag in this video now? I know who we should tag, because Sean did this. He based it on Emily from Novel's video, except he didn't tag her in the redo of the Friends tag. So I'm going to tag Emily in her own video, but the Steve Donoghues remix
of the Friends tag. I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
Has Sean the Book Maniac done...
Sean's been
version?
tagged by Steve.
By Steve. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel like Nashwa.
Yeah, Nashwa, we mentioned her. She's funny.
Yeah, she'll do this good. Danny, because she needs to.
Yeah.
From Spinelli Speaks.
And I think...
Ange with an E.
She's got some enemies.
I'm sure she'll make some up.
And the last one we'll tag is Charlotte. Charlotte from... she said how it was pronounced in her Q&A video, and I forgot it. Cooney Reads. I'm going to have to,
rewatch that
to figure out how it's pronounced. I'm sorry. Charlotte's doing Vlogsmas, so I'm sure come day 21...
She'll be like, yes, tag video!
She might want a brainless tag, yeah. So that's why I'm gonna give her some easy targets. Although this is a particularly negative tag, and she's not a particularly negative person.
I hope she has fun venting her spleen.
Yes, I want to see your spleen.
I don't want to see your actual spleen.
Metaphorically, yeah, in the way that Thomas Pynchon might mean spleen. No. If you're new here, like this video, subscribe. Give us a comment from anything that you deem worthy to comment on in this mess.
We had fun. We hope you did too. See you next time.
Bye.